Welcome to Friends with Benefits, the channel where cars get the spotlight, and we sprinkle in just the right amount of humor. Today's menu, the 2025 Corvette ZR1. This beast isn't just flexing muscle, it's rocking NASA-inspired twin turbos. Power like this, might as well call it the Space Corvette. Next up, we've got a heavyweight showdown. The 2025 GMC Hummer EV SUV 3X versus the Rivian R1S Quad Ascend. Think of it as an off-road UFC match, but with more torque and fewer punches. Cadillac's making waves too with the 2025 Optic, a compact EV SUV that's out to show everyone why Cadillac still owns the luxury game. Spoiler, it's got all the tech and swagger to prove it. Speaking of power moves, the Biden administration is throwing down $1 billion to help small automakers make the EV shift. Looks like everyone's getting a piece of the electric pie. And McLaren, they're teasing the W1, a P1 successor that's likely to leave the competition in its dust. Finally, Thieves are targeting headlights. But here's the kicker. EVs are safe from this crime wave. What gives? Stick around for all this and more on Friends with Benefits, where cars and culture collide. Before we get into the stories today, please like, subscribe, and comment to let us know what you think about this video. Now, let's get into it. Let's talk about the new 2025 Corvette ZR1, aka the rocket ship you can drive to work. Remember when people said there's no replacement for displacement? Well, apparently there is. It's called twin turbos the size of small planets, and GM is strapping them to a 5.5-liter V8 like it's prepping for a moon landing. Thanks to BorgWarner, these aren't just any turbos. They're the largest turbos you'll find in a production car, with NASA literally stamped on them. Yes, you heard that right. Your new Corvette comes with a space program badge, paying homage to GM's collaboration with NASA back in the day. So while it won't leave Earth's orbit, it will launch you down the highway with a mind-bending 1,064 horsepower. Let's break it down. These turbos come with all the futuristic tech. We're talking anti-lag calibration, real-time speed sensors to keep things from going kaboom, and titanium rods that sound fancy enough to be in a sci-fi movie. Oh, and there's something called an Edge Blue intake system that's like the air conditioning for your turbocharged engine, keeping it cool while it's busy melting tires. In short, this car's got more tech than your phone, more power than your neighbor's entire garage, and more NASA vibes than a SpaceX launch. So if you're into over-the-top, mind-blowing performance, the ZR1 is your new best friend. In the battle of electric SUVs, the 2025 Rivian R1S Quad Ascend and the GMC Hummer EV SUV 3X are ready to rumble. Imagine two heavyweight champions fully charged and facing off with enough power to tow a small country. Let's start with the Rivian R1S Quad Ascend. It's like if your outdoorsy friend suddenly became a tech genius and could climb mountains without breaking a sweat. With four motors giving it 835 horsepower, this thing is ready for anything from city streets to off-road trails. It even has a camp mode. Because what electric SUV doesn't need to transform into a mobile campsite? This is for the person who likes adventure, but also enjoys having a fully charged smartphone to Instagram it. Now, the GMC Hummer EV SUV 3X rolls in like a linebacker. It's massive, aggressive, and has the personality of a superhero's personal tank. With 830 horsepower, it's not just powerful, it's a flex. The Hummer goes from 0-60 in 3.5 seconds, which is about the same amount of time it takes to realize you've just spilled your coffee. And let's not forget the infamous crab walk mode, which lets you glide sideways like a boss. Perfect for those moments when regular driving just feels too mainstream. So what's the vibe? The Rivian is for the outdoorsy adventurer who likes to geek out on tech, while the Hummer EV is for the person who wants to feel like they're driving an electric battle tank. Both are epic, but with wildly different personalities. Which one will you pick? Time to decide your ultimate road warrior. So my pick? After test driving the Hummer, I'll be picking the Hummer. It may be a tank on wheels, but it's got finesse where it counts. And all those wild features, it's like driving a vehicle from the future, coming back to the past to take down the Terminator. If you're looking for something that can crush the road and look cool while doing it, the Hummer is your ride. Let's talk about the 2025 Cadillac Optic, the latest entry in Cadillac's EV lineup. It's the smallest electric SUV, but don't let its size fool you. It's packed with luxury, tech, and, well, a name that sounds like it came from a sci-fi movie. Cadillac's got this IQ theme going on, so if it doesn't end in IQ, it's probably still stuck in the gas-powered past. Now, the Optic is like the XT5's cool electric cousin, only $10K more expensive at a base price of $52,895. Cadillac is betting that this compact SUV will lure in eco-conscious drivers, especially the younger crowd who care about the environment asterisk their Instagram feed. With recycled materials inside, think tulip wood and newspaper, this SUV is practically a recycling bin on wheels. But let's not forget the tech. Cadillac's throwing even a 33-inch LED display in there, which is bigger than most people's TVs, and it's 9K resolution, because apparently 4K just isn't enough for your dashboard these days. Plus, with a 19-speaker sound system, you'll feel like you're in a concert while stuck in traffic. Oh, and it has analog buttons, because who doesn't love pressing real buttons instead of just tapping screens? Now here's the kicker. While the Optiq has a decent range of 300 miles, its charging speed might leave you yawning. At only 150 kilowatts, it's like watching paint dry compared to the Rivian R2's 220 kilowatts and the Polestar 3's 250 kilowatts. So while it's great for commutes, don't plan on taking it cross-country unless you enjoy long charging breaks. The bright side? Cadillac Super Cruise comes standard, so at least you can let the car do some of the work while you daydream about faster charging. Final verdict? The Optiq is an eco-friendly, tech-loaded option with luxury touches, but if you're in a hurry to get anywhere, you might want to pack a snack for those charging stops. I've been seriously impressed with the new Cadillac EVs popping up on the road lately. Honestly, I never really paid much attention to Cadillac before. They were just kind of there. But now, their future looks super interesting, and I can't wait to see what they roll out next. So what do you guys and ladies think? Will you be picking this up, or is Cadillac still your grandparents' brand? Let me know. The Biden administration is making it rain, $1 billion to be exact, and it's all aimed at helping small auto manufacturers jump on the electric vehicle, EV bandwagon. The idea is to give the little guys a fighting chance in the EV race, so they don't get trampled by the big-name brands like Tesla or GM. Think of it like a reality show, but instead of surviving on an island, these automakers are trying to survive the EV revolution. The focus is on making sure small and medium-sized companies can innovate, create jobs, and pump out EVs that can compete with the big dogs. They're even looking at supporting projects like better batteries, faster charging stations, and EV tech that'll make our gas-guzzling past look like the age of the dinosaurs. Now, before you start imagining every mom and pop car shop rolling out their own EV, there's still a lot of paperwork and applications to go through. But the government's goal is clear: more electric cars on the road, less pollution, and making sure the future of driving isn't dominated by just a few mega corporations. The big takeaway: if you've been dreaming of a world where EVs aren't just sleek sedans and SUVs, but all kinds of wild, innovative designs, this $1 billion fund could make it happen. It's like giving the underdogs their chance at a comeback, Rocky style, but with less boxing and more battery power. So who knows? Your next EV might just come from a small automaker you've never even heard of. So what do you think? Will this help get more cool, unique EVs on the road, or is it too little, too late? Leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Let's take a trip back to when the McLaren P1 first dropped. Remember that? It was part of the holy trinity of supercars alongside the Ferrari LaFerrari and Porsche 918. These cars didn't just blow our minds, they redefined what it meant to be a supercar. The P1 in particular looked like it had been teleported from another galaxy. It made us rethink what speed, power, and cutting-edge tech could do when wrapped in carbon fiber and slapped with the McLaren badge. Well, get ready, because McLaren's back at it again with the W1, the spiritual successor to the P1. And this thing promises to take the super in supercar to a whole new level. We're talking hybrid technology, insane aerodynamics, and enough performance to make you question whether you're driving a car or piloting a fighter jet. So what do we know so far? The W1 is rumored to use the latest in hybrid powertrain technology, blending a turbocharged engine with electric motors for a mind-boggling level of horsepower. The P1 gave us 903 horsepower, already enough to make your face melt, but the W1 could take it even further. Think next-gen materials, space-age design, and a cockpit that's more tech-savvy than your smartphone. The W1 is McLaren's answer to the next generation of hypercars, and it's shaping up to be a direct challenge to whatever Ferrari and Porsche come up with next. So while we don't have all the details yet, just imagine the level of insanity McLaren's about to unleash on the world. It's going to be one of those moments where you see the car and think, is this real? Can I actually drive this thing, or will I need a pilot's license? So what do you all think? Will the McLaren W1 live up to the hype and carry on the legacy of the P1? Will it make us rethink the very idea of what a hypercar should be? Drop a comment below and let me know what you think about McLaren's next big leap into the future of speed. Here's a twist I never saw coming. Apparently, thieves aren't interested in stealing electric vehicles, EVs. Yeah, I thought car thieves stole all cars, but it turns out EVs are like the kryptonite of the car stealing world. So what are they swiping instead? Headlights. Yes, you heard that right. Your car's headlights are now the hottest commodity on the black market, but only if your car drinks gas, not electrons. Let me break it down. While EVs are busy changing the world, they've also managed to become a turnoff for car thieves. Why? For one, EVs are more high-tech, loaded with tracking devices and security features that make them harder to steal. Plus, they need to be charged, which is basically like asking a thief to plug it in for a couple of hours before their getaway. Kind of kills the vibe, right? Meanwhile, gas-powered cars are getting their headlights swiped faster than you can say, "Where are my lights?" And we're not just talking about any old headlights. Thieves are targeting high-end super bright lights because they can flip them for a pretty penny or use them for, you guessed it, growing plants indoors. Who knew car headlights had a secret life as grow lamps? So while EV owners get to sleep soundly knowing their cars are safe, people with gas guzzlers have to worry about coming back to a car that looks like it's ready for a spooky Halloween movie. Headlights missing and all. What do you all think? Did you ever imagine headlights would be more at risk than an actual car? Drop a comment below and let me know if you think thieves are onto something or if they're just getting lazy. California's got a new plan to stop all you speed demons out there. And it's not more cops or fancy signs, it's cameras. Yep, Big Brother is about to become Big Traffic Cop. If you're going more than 10 miles per hour over the limit, a camera might just snap a picture of your license plate, and next thing you know, you've got a ticket in the mail. No sirens, no flashing lights, just a quiet little envelope with a hefty reminder to slow down. So how does it work? California is rolling out this pilot program in 6 cities, and they're targeting the usual speeding hotspots where people think speed limits are more of a suggestion than a rule. These speed cameras will catch you if you're flying through a school zone or blasting down a residential street. It's like having a traffic cop who never takes a break and never needs donuts. Now, the idea is to reduce crashes and make roads safer, which is great, but let's be real. How many of us have casually been 10 miles per hour over without realizing it? Next thing you know, you're on your 3rd ticket and rethinking that need for speed. But wait, there's a little bit of mercy here. If you get caught speeding, your first ticket is more like a warning, just a slap on the wrist. After that though, the fines start stacking up. So California is essentially saying, we'll let it slide once, but don't make this a habit. So what do you all think? Are you for speed cameras snapping up lead-footed drivers? Or do you think this is going to be a nightmare for anyone who accidentally presses the gas a little too hard? Leave a comment and let me know if you're ready to slow down or if you're setting aside a budget for speeding tickets. And that wraps up today's car news, folks. We covered a lot of ground, from the NASA-powered 2025 Corvette ZR1 turning heads and breaking the speed limits, to the GMC Hummer EV SUV 3X facing off with the Rivian R1S Quad Ascend in the ultimate heavyweight EV battle. We also took a look at the 2025 Cadillac Optic, the luxury EV that's here to shake up the compact SUV world. We even talked about the Biden administration's $1 billion fund to help small automakers go electric, and McLaren teasing us with the upcoming W1, which is bound to make us all rethink what a hypercar can be. Oh, and who knew that EVs were practically immune to car thieves, who are instead out there stealing headlights for some strange reason? Lastly, California is gearing up to slow us down with speed cameras that'll catch you going 10 miles per hour over the limit. Better watch your speed. Thanks for tuning in to Friends with Benefits, your go-to spot for all things cars, culture, and a little bit of chaos. Drop a comment below on your favorite story, let me know your thoughts, and as always, this is Friends with Benefits, driving off into the sunset, or at least until the speed cameras catch us. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on all things automotive. See you next time.